وجهك الباقي بعد فناء كل شيء وبأسمائك التي ملأت أركان كل شيء وبعلمك الذي أحاط بكل شيء وبنور وجهك الذي أزاله كل شيء يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا نور يا قدوس يا أول الأولين ويا آخر الآخرين اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تهتك مسعا اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل الجبال اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تغير النعم اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تحبس الطعام اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تقطع الرجاء اللهم اغفر لي الذنوب التي تنزل البلاء اللهم اغفر لي كل ذنب اذنبته وكل خطيئة اقترفتها اللهم إني أتقرب إليك بذكرك واستشفعك إلى نفسك وأسألك بجودك أن تعطيني من قربك وأن تجزيني شكرك وأن تلهمني ذكرك اللهم إني أسألك سؤال قاضي متذلل خاشع أن تصالحني وترحمني وتجعلني باسمك راضيا قانعا وفي جميع الأحوال متواضعا اللهم أسألك سؤال من اشتدت كفارته وأنزل بك عند الشدائد حاجته وعزم في موعدك رغبته اللهم عزم سلطانه وعلى مقامه وخفي مكره وزهر أمره وغلب قهره وجلت قدرته فلا يمكن الفرار من حكومته اللهم لا أجد لذنوبي غافرا ولا لقضائه ساخرا ولا لشيء من عملي القبيح بالحسن مبدلا غيرك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك وبحمدك ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي ظلمت نفسي وتجرأت بجهلي وسكنت إلى قريب رجالي ومنك علي اللهم لا يدني قريب سترته وكمل فارحمني البلاء خلقا وشمل عذاره فيه هوى نفسي ولم أكترث فيه بالتسليم عدوي شغفني شباهها وأسعده على ذلك القضاء فتجاوزت بما جرى علي من ذلك بعض قلوبي وخالفت ضوابط فلنا حجة علي في جميع الآيات ولا حجة لي فيما جرى علي فيه قضاء وألزمني حكمها وبلاء وقد أتيتك يا إلهي بعد تقصيري وإسرافي على نفسي وكريما بارا مبتسما مستقيما مستغفرا منيبا مكرما ومنا وتوفا لا أجد محمدا مما كان يبني ولا غفران توجه إليه في أمري وما أروه لعمري وإدخالك إياه في سعتي رحمتك اللهم فاقبل عذري وارحم شدة قربي وفكني من شدي وتعبي يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني يا رب ارحم ضعف بدني ورقة جلدي ودقة عمري يا من أبدا خلقي وشكري وتربيتي وترجي وتغذيتي هدني لابتدائي كرمك وسالك بركبي يا إلهي وسيدي وربي أتراكم عبدي بمالك بعد توحيدك وبعد من قال عليه قلبي معرفتك وليس لساني بالذكرك واعتقده ضميري من حبك وبعد صدق اعترافي ودعائي خاف على رؤيتك هيهات أنت أكره من أن تضيع وقتها أو تبعدها من أبديتها أو تشردها من ناولتها أو تسلم إلى البلاء انتهيته ورحمتها ولتجعلني يا سيدي وإلهي ومولاي أتسلط النار على وجوههم الخضراء وأنت سابنا وعلى ألسنهم قطفات لو كنتنا صادقا وبشكرك مالحا وعلى قلوب اعترفت بإلهيتك محققا وعلى رحمتنا علمك حتى صارت خاشعا وعلى جلالك سعدنا أوقات عبدك طالعا وأشارت باستغفار أمرنا ما توفقت به ولا أخبرنا بفضلك عنك يا كريم يا رب وأنت تعلم ضعفي عن قليل من بلاء الدنيا وعقوباتها وما يجري فيها من المكاره على أهلها على أن ذلك بلاء ومكروه قليل محدود يسير بقاؤهم قصير مدلول فكيف احتمالهم من الآخرة وجميع المكاره فيها وهو بلاء تقول مدته ويذوق مقامه ولا يخفف عن أهله لأنه لا يكون إلا عن ولدك وكرامك وصبرك وهذا ما لا تقول له السماوات والأرض يا سيدي تلكني وأنا عبدك الضعيف الحقير المسكين المستقيم يا إلهي وربي وسيدي ومولاي ييروا إليك أشكو ولما منها أرجو ألقي ليعين العذاب وشدته أنه للبلاء مرتدل فإن صيرتني للعقوبات مع أعدائك وجمعت بيني وبين أهلي بلائك وفرقت بيني وبين أحبائك وأوليائك فهب لي يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وربي صبرت على عذابك فكيف أصبر على فراقك وهب لي صبرت على أرضائك فكيف أصبر عن النظر إلى كرامتك أم كيف أسكن في النار أم كيف أسكن في النار ورجائي عفوك فليسرك يا سيدي ومولاي واقسم صادرا وإن تركتني ناطقا لأردن إليك بين أهلها وفي جبالي ولأصرحن إليك صراط المستصرخين ولأتين عليك بقاء الكافرين ولننادين الذين كنت يا ولي المؤمنين يا غاية أمان العالمين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حبيب قلوب الصابرين ويا إله العالمين أبدوك سبحانك يا إلهي وبحمدك تسمع فيها صوت عبد مسلم سن فيها بمخالفته ولا تقام على بحار معصيته وحبس إليك أوقاتها بملكه وجحيمته وهو يضيف إليك مزيدا مؤمن برحمتك ويناديك بلسان أهل توحيدك ويتوسل إليك بربوبيتك هيهات يا مولاي فكيف يبقى العذاب وهو يرجو ما سلف من حلمك أم كيف تؤمن النار وهو يأذن رحمتا ورحمتك أم كيف يخلقه أديبها وأنت تسمع صوتا وترى مكانا أم كيف يشتمل عليه سفيرها وأنت تعلم ضعفا أم كيف يتقلقل بين أضلاعها وأنت تعلم صدقا أم كيف تزدر ثمانيتها وهو يناديك يا ربنا أم كيف يرجو فرحة منها وتتركه فيها هيهات ما ذلك الظن به ولا المعروف منتصر ولا مسلم بما عملت به المحسنين من ذلك الإحسان فباليقين أقطع لولا ما أتت به لعني بذاته وقضيت به من أسباب العابدين لجعلت النار كلها ظهرا وسلاما وما كان لأحد فيها محرا ولا مقاما لكنها تقدست أسماؤه أقسمت أن تمنعها من الكافرين من الجنة والناس أجمعين وأن تخل فيها المعاندين وأن تعالى لا تنعرف قلت ربنا وتقبلت للأنعام تسرنا أفمن كان مؤمنا كمن كان فاسقا لا يسر إلهي وسيدي وأسألك بالقدرة التي قدرتها والقضية التي حكمتها وحكمتها وغلبت من عليه أنويتها أن تهدني في هذه الليلة وفي هذه الساعة كل يوم وكل ذنب أنكرته وكل مريض أسورته وكل جهل علمته كذبته أو علمته أخفيته أو أظهرته وكل سيئة أردت الإثبات الكرام الكاتبين الذين وكلتهم بحفظ ما يكون مني وجعلتهم شهودا علي مع جوارحي وكنت أنت الرقيب عليها بالصائم والشاهد ما أخفي عنهم وبرحمتك أخفيت وبفضلك سترت وأن توفى حظي من كل خير تنزله أو إحسان تفضله أو بر تنشره أو رزق تبسطه أو ذنب تغفره أو خطر تستره يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا ربي يا إلهي وسيدي ومولاي وغفري الذي ناصرتي يا عليما بضري واسندتي يا أبيعا بفقري وخافتي يا ربي 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 أسألك بحقك بقدسي وأعظم صفاتك وأسرارك أن تجعل أوقاتي من الليل والنهار بذكرك محفوظا ولحكمتك موصولا
على رسوله والأئمة الميامين الأولين وسلم تسليما كثيرا. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Brothers and sisters, especially those who have been affected by the Allah,
نهتدي لولا هدانا الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'm going to ask you to bear with me because I cannot hear from this side. I have a sinus problem, so bear with me. Inshallah, Allah will help me to go through this program. One of the most important, what are the two things that Allah is asking us to learn from? Every human being. Learn from the best. And we do that in our private life. We send our children to the best university, best school, best job, best couples. We look for everything best. How do we know what is best for our deen? What is it that Allah has sent down to us in the best form? Only two things. Al-Quran and Muhammad and Ali Muhammad. So today you're going to see an introduction. There's a topic in the Quran called hikmah. I don't know what it means. I'm being very frank. You would know the translation, the spirit of it, the extent of depth of it in the Quran is amazing. I went through this whole Quran looking at one word, hikmah, just to understand, because this is Allah's kalam. So when I went through the whole Quran from Surah Fatiha to Surah Nas, everywhere it is used in different forms. Hikmah, 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 hikmah. I am Muslim. I believe in Quran. I believe in every word of Quran. It is a rope of Allah, light of Allah. It is kalam of Allah. Nothing better. So today you will see an introduction to this very difficult but very powerful word called hikmah. Ordinarily we say, well, how well you do in this world is hikmah. When you buy a house, when you buy a car, or when you select a spouse, when you select a career, you're using your intelligence. Is it the intelligence that Quran is talking about? I'm not sure. Yeah, each one of you has to ask that. The wisdom of Quran is perfect. There is nothing better than that. So today you just see a little introduction of this word. And it's a special gift. Nama he gave you free. He said, I give you Nama free. But hikmah, I'm going to choose. I'm going to choose who deserves and who can do a justice to that word. I will not be capable. If Allah gives me too much of it, I'll burn out. Too little, I'll be left far ahead. That means there is a precision in the Quran for every human being. There's a precision. Allah knows us better than we know ourselves. That I believe. That Allah knows me better than I know myself. So with that, let's say, this is a very famous ayah, everybody knows it. The word man yasha is used in the Quran when Allah is strongly saying that it's my will that I'll give you. It's not a free gift. Aql is a free gift. Aql he gave you. When you're born, he says, I gave you aql. When I brought you out of your mother's stomach, samad, basarat, af'ida. I gave you all these three. Samad, basarat, and thinking capacity. I give you this, how you use it is up to you. It's up to you. And we do it, I do it all the time. So today, inshallah, this ayah, he says, I will give hikmah to whom I choose, and when I give hikmah, is khairan kathir. There's abundance good in that. And if you read the word hikmah, most Nabi are specially mentioned. I gave hikmah to Luqman, I gave hikmah to Ayyub, I gave hikmah here, I gave to Musa, I gave. Having given to all them, Allah sent Muhammad with 4 missions. يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ يُعَلِّمُهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. His mission is 4. That's Quran. I mean, this Quran is saying, Allah is saying, defining Muhammad's mission. He's going to recite the Quran to you, he's going to purify you, and he's going to teach you kitab wal hikmah. He'll teach you kitab and book. They are separate entities. There are millions of people today who are Hufaz al-Quran. There are. And there is no shortage. But Allah is going to choose from among all of us, whom shall I give hikmah to? It's not my choice. It's not your choice. Mayasha, mayasha, mayasha. On the worldly affairs, yes, you can have hikmah, worldly affairs. Whatever you want, worldly affairs. I know, I pat myself in the back, I got my son a very good mortgage, very good rate, closing costs are very low. Is that hikmah? Really? Show it. Nothing else. But what is the true wisdom? And this is where today, inshallah, we look at some aspect, means intellectual power and ability to apply reason, but also implies spiritual perception and command over divine guidance. Allahu Akbar. I mean, this is what the scholars have written. I'm a researcher. I keep looking. Who are the noble scholars who have written all this? I just collect. I'm just a garden. I just go to the garden, start picking up the flowers. So now, when you look at this definition, means intellectual power and ability to apply reason, but also implies spiritual perception and command over divine guidance. How do I know? When I ask somebody, do you have room? 9 out of 10 people say, we don't know. Everybody's alive because of room. But we don't know what it is. We don't know how it's going to take you vertical, up. So, we continue. Allah gives permission to understand the depth of ocean of wisdom to those who actively seek it from Him alone. I can go to the best of university and get my PhD and whatever. I become an MD, I become an engineer, but this is all human system. Who taught Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was his teacher. I'm your teacher, Muhammad. That's where Allah is saying differentiate between worldly teaching and the teaching Allah arranges for you. That's called wisdom. This is just introduction. I'm telling you again and again and again and again. I went through the whole Quran, just one word from weeks and months. How is it used in the Quran? Because there is nothing better than Quran. Don't put anything over there. The Quran is sitting there, don't put any book over there. Okay, so let's continue. Oh, what is the general meaning? Wisdom is known in the scientific circles. The brain surgeons, the researchers, science, they are digging deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. These are not religious people, not most of them. They are only scientists. They want to know human composition. They want to know if you're wise, you call you wise, why will you call you wise? Because whatever. Because you're the president of the United States or head of a country. Is that wisdom? Let's look at it very carefully, the definition of wisdom in common language that's suitable to all. Our young people, they understand this language. They don't understand because Allah said it. Yeah, well, Allah said. They are looking for why. They're looking for reasoning. They're looking for logic. They're looking for something scientific. So let's give them scientific. The ability to use your knowledge and experience to make good decisions. What is the two words? Knowledge and experience. What can you talk about knowledge? I mean, one ayah says it all, forever, for 14 centuries. Rabbi zidni, increase me in what knowledge? What knowledge? And that's why I'm searching. When I search, whatever I find, I share with you. Ability to discern inner qualities and relationship inside. We all have basira. Do you tap into your inside? I don't, most of the time. But there is inside of me. And that inside is the being, the knowledge, the guidance. He says, what did I do? Guide your heart. He didn't say guide my brain, my hand, my legs. Your heart. Your heart. Heart. So now, first ability to discern inner. I need to know my inner qualities before I can understand wisdom. I don't understand my inner qualities. I don't understand my depth that He put into me. Good sense. And you have this sense when, what was the battle of, not Siffin, Nahrawan. Imam Ali fought battle of Nahrawan. When they came with the Quran, no, that was Siffin. In Siffin they came, Nahrawan, Siffin, one of the two. Please bear with me. When they came with the Quran, when they're losing battle, Muawiyah, I think it's Siffin, Muawiyah raised the Quran. And he said, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by Muawiyah and this Quran. He said, no. This is just a show. Because Ali knew the reality of Quran. You're right. Quran is on Ali's heart. A wise attitude, belief, or course of action, the teaching of wise men, wisdom is found in and begins with God. Don't you ever forget that you are independent of God to seek something, that you are so smart, so intelligent, and you see it today. People fall into the pit one by one, by one, by one. They become so successful. I think there's a story of somebody named Blackman Fried. He talks about billions as though he's a joke. And now he's in the prison. Billions. So we need to be very, very cognizant. We find true wisdom on the basis of our relationship with Allah alone. He is Hakim. And what does it say? The heart of Surah Yasin. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Yasin wal Quran. Hakim. Allah is Hakim Asma. Allah said, my Quran is Hakim. And who's going to teach you? Yu'allimukum kitab wal Muhammad will teach you. If you depart from there, you'll never win. You cannot win. In any shape or form. We find true wisdom by humbly submitting to God and obeying His commands. There are the original book, the Torah, which was given to Musa alayhi salam. The book given to Isa alayhi salam, Injil, Torah and Injil, Old Testament and the New Testament. They're not available in the original form. Quran is the only religion on the face of the earth that has the original book written by God. And Allah said, وَنَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَنَحْنُ لَهُ حَافِظُونَ. Nobody can change a letter into this. So that means the old scriptures had the sayings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're all distorted. So there is this, what they call St. James Bible. It's very famous among Christians. The true message of Isa alayhi salam is nothing other than Islam. The true message of Musa alayhi salam is nothing but Islam. Nothing. You decided to make him a Jew. You decided to make him a Christian. You decided to make him a Majus or Zartush or whatever you like. So there are 8 attributes. I would like each one of us, particularly me, I look at, I feel ashamed sometimes. This is St. James giving you a message, and this is Christian book, which Allah revealed to Isa alayhi salam. Very first is humble. Wise people don't constantly brag, boast, or display a prideful attitude. Allah, humbleness, 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 humbleness. And it's on exhibition today. You go and see the house in which Ayatollah Sistani lives. It's a mud house, small mud house. Small. No fancy furniture, no big TV screen, entertainment TV. I'm just not telling you it's bad, but I'm just saying how this man is humble. His humbleness is an example for me. Number 2, good deeds. Good people live an upright and moral life. I'm sure that a lot of you are here, and especially if we are begin with Sheikh here, you want to learn something, go to him. Salatu ala Muhammad ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Number 3, gentle. What gentle means? And this is extremely important because we are weak. We don't know, and Allah is testing and grooming us, grooming us, training us constantly, constantly, constantly. Day after day, like we are nurturing our children. He's nurturing us. You think He's going to leave you all? No, He's nurturing us. O Muhammad, Because of my mercy, you're gentle. Obtain that mercy. That will be a how to be gentle. Number 4. Considerate, who people put the needs of others and ahead of themselves whenever possible. This is not possible for me because when I go driving, I said, who cares who's on my right, who's on my left? I want to go first in the left lane, the fastest to go home. Just like an example. But my mind, this attitude is very deep in today's generation. Everything boils down to what I like, what I do, what I wear, what I want to do. Even my, 9-year-old, he tells me, he says, grandfather, I know what I want. Of course you know, I know what you want. And 9-year-old telling me, so fine, this is the generation we live in. Number 5, peace-loving. Wise people don't foster division. Instead, they work to end strife and trauma. This is very important. And Quran tells you to make sulh between warring parties. Whatever you can do. Whatever. And whoever is wrong, they don't want to correct themselves, stand up against them. Number 6, be merciful. Wise people demonstrate compassion, forgiveness, and kindness to others. This is a Christian book defining wisdom. Sincere, I can't tell you. I did a whole research on the word ikhlas. Again, mind-boggling. Every word of Quran is mind-boggling for me. How can I say I'm sincere? I don't know. Can any one of you truly say you're sincere? Yes.
Is sincere and ikhlas synonym?
Ikhlas?
Ikhlas and sincere synonym to each other?
Well, it's the same translation.
Same translation.
Yeah, but how can you measure ikhlas mentioned in the Quran to your attitude? Only Quran can describe what ikhlas is. Was ikhlas Rasul to go and fight in Badr, Uhud, Khandaq? Was that ikhlas? Because he did nothing but to please his Allah. There is no better example than Nabi Muhammad's life. Impartial, wise people are fair and just. They do not show partiality to others for their own benefit. Selfish. Allah doesn't like selfish people. Even for his ibadah. There was a man, he was, for years and years and years, he would come to Masjid al-Nabawi and pray in the front row here. He would come early. 20 years later, he came late, he had to go at the back. He kept looking at the place he used to pray for 15, 20 years or so. Then he realized it doesn't matter where you stand. It's whom you're standing for. That's the important thing. Whether it's the last row, the front row, whichever row it is, it's your connection, it's your ikhlas to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Based on this list, do you consider yourself to be wise? I don't, based on the list. Should I change myself? Of course I should. So that's part of the deen. Character building. Deen is nothing but character building for all of us. Tazkiyah and nafs. Tazkiyah and nafs. Salatu ala Muhammad The people who have ilm given to them as a gift. Utul ilma daraja. When I give ilm, I give you daraja, hikmata ma yasha. I'll give you ilm, with that you're going to get hikmah. Both are in his control. So he says, when you talk about khair and kathir, what does it mean? Two things. It means two things. These are scholarly people who said that. Wisdom in the reception of haqq. Believe me, there is nothing more important in our life than haqq. And haqq is not what I see in that big, entertainment television. I don't. Haqq is very different. Very, very different. And then the other thing is basira. Haqq will clear up the way for you. And that's why, and I repeat this, Sheikh al-Halabi, I was talking to him this afternoon. In one of his lectures, he says, if all the world is one side and Ali is on the other side, I'm going to be with Ali. I can't describe better than this Halabi statement. If all the world is on one side and Ali is on the other side, because Haqq ma'aliyin, Rasul Hadith. But we have to get his attributes. Okay, we'll continue a few more, inshallah. The two sources of hikmah is what? We must ask ourselves. Can I go to the library? Can I go to either Google? Can he go here? Can I go there? No. Only two sources. And the purest of the purest of the purest, and they are Holy Quran. Say there are two. We have a book that has not changed a single dot in 14 centuries. We have to act on it. You have to understand it. And Surah Yasin, Quran al-Hakim. What more can be said? You want to learn wisdom? Learn Quran properly. Learn it, understand it, and act on it. Act on it. Action is what Islam is all about. To be the heart of Quran. Now you go to Rasulullah. He's going to teach you. Allah says, Quran is Hakim. I'm going to give it to Muhammad to teach to all of us. Study the life of Rasulullah. Very short life, and yet everything he did was from the book, his wisdom. Every step he did, every step of his life, from the time he was born to the time he left the world, he was nothing but a teacher of hikmah. And then you have these two combined. Okay, two more slides and then you can go have your dinner. I think two more. Whoever seeks guidance from it receives its wisdom, is complete and perfect. But you have to work hard. I'm finding that out. Because if you go too much into it, you're going to be burnt out. If you're too far behind, you lag behind. There's a mizan. That's why Quran is known as a mizan. Checks and balances. Checks and balances. Continuous. I am living in delusion. Okay, I pray. So, okay, I'm going to fast. And I do this. Is that enough? I went for Hajj. I went for Umrah. I went for Ziyarat. I gave my phone. Is that enough? Would that give me wisdom? No. But I can prepare myself to wisdom. According to Quran, I'm not talking about myself. No aspect of material or spiritual life, individual as well as collective, it leads to truth, goodness, and salvation. The moment we think that Quran and Islam is here in the masjid only, no, it's not. No, it's not. Quran is every aspect of your life, from the day you're born to the day you leave this. From the day you're born to the day you leave, you're not outside the sphere of Islam. Complete coverage, protection. Its usage depends upon the intellect and taqwa. Aql and taqwa. There's a big khutbah of Imam Ali. There are two khutbahs in Nahjul Balagha. I mean, you can tell that he is familiar with the language of the Quran. He said, Babe Madinatul Ilm. If you read what he's talking about taqwa in Nahjul Balagha, you say, wow, this Ali didn't know. I didn't know this Ali. I was just looking 2 days ago on one of his khutbahs on Quran, the miracles of Quran. It just went past me. In the view of the Quran, the ears which are unable to listen to truth and which are only used for listening to absurd and nonsensical things are deaf. Definition of deaf. Not this deafness. They cannot understand haqq. They cannot understand the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because there are veils. You have to remove those veils. The tongue which is merely used to utter nonsense is dumb. It's not my explanation. It is not easy to go to the level of taqwa. Doable? Yes. Most difficult. Most difficult. The people who do not reason are those who do not make use of their wisdom and their faculty of thought. I find the influence, I tell you, I'm influenced by the environment. I listen to every evening NBC, CBS, garbage. Garbage upon garbage upon garbage upon garbage upon garbage is infiltrating my head. Iblis is laughing away at me. What are you doing? What are you doing? Learn some wisdom from Quran. Go and read Qasas al-Anbiya, Hayat-e-Nabi. Okay. According to Quran, wisdom is the source of. I think there are 10 attributes. I urge all of you, including myself, to memorize this. Okay. Number one, tranquility. Can anybody tell me what tranquility is? Is everybody tranquil here? I guess everybody's tranquil. You know, they're sort of in a daze. Some of you are fasting, waiting for the food, the soup, the baklava, you know, whatever it is. What did you cook,
Meat.
See, meat. It is meat. So suddenly, the meat is taking priority over my thought. Because stomach is, my brain has gone into my stomach. It's normal. You have to go on reminding yourself, what is tranquility? I cannot describe sukoon. And Allah gives you that. You have to earn it. So then you have steadfastness. How steadfast you are. Study. Again, these steps, salvage for akhirah. Everything we do is going to have a consequence in the akhirah. Everything we do. You know, now is not the time. But when you die, you're going to have what they call jism al-thali, corporeal body. What is it made up of? My jism is gone into the ground, I'm dead, finished. But the ruh needs a conduit. So Rasul said there's going to be a jism al-thali. Based on every littlest good and bad I've done, it will be my jism. Every littlest good and bad I've done is going to create a jism. Jism al-thali. I'm responsible. So when I get up and I can't see with one eye, wow, you are blind to my zikr here in this world. This is the depth of our iman. This is the depth of our understanding. Okay, wisdom is the light of what? Anybody? Hassan, do you have any ideas? Oh, you're too tired. You're thinking of food, right?
Iman?
There's going to be good meat, you know. I'm sorry. Somebody say, you know.
Iman?
Heart.
I'm sorry?
Heart.
Haq.
Hearts.
Okay, heart. Okay.
Or Iman?
Okay. Inside, basira. Heart is an organ. What you do with it is up to you. You understand? Heart is a physical organ. It's a physical organ. What you do with it is up to you. Scale of piety. What level of scale you have reached. Taqwa. Result of honesty. And that's kind of difficult because I have to do my tax returns, so I have to find a way to more deductions than paying taxes. Sometimes it will not be right. But I will say, oh, it's a human system, it's IRS, American tax. And I say, no. You get into the habit of cheating, you'll expand in your habit. Wisdom causes a person to fear God. Shall we fear God only half an hour, 45 minutes a day while we are praying? During Ramadan, during Rajab, during Shaban, during Ramadan, during Muharram? No. It's a faculty of 24/7. Wisdom is a means to take advice from the events. Wisdom causes us not to have interest in the world. We have to live in the world, but don't get bought by the world. What Imam Ali said. Ad-dunya zillun za'ilun. Go away from it. Go away from it. Number 6. Wisdom is to accompany righteousness and to obey a rightful person. Wisdom is guide to religion. It considers slave more significant than the free one. Allah Akbar. Rasul used to sit. And people used to say, what kind of Rasul is this? He sits with the poor people on the side of the road and eats with them. Imam Ali used to do that. There are a lot of stories about that. Poor more excellent than the rich. Small more important than the elderly. Miserable more insignificant than the kings. Wisdom is a means of protecting man from committing sin. Just remember that. Wisdom will tell you, warn you. Wisdom is a person who is strong in the face of events. He does not give up. Trouble comes to us from our wife. Look at the story of Sayyidina Ayub. Allah took away everything from him. Everything away from him. His richness, his poor, and then he became sick on his own person. But he never gave up. That's the steadfastness. Sabr Ayub. guide to people. The Prophet said to Imam Ali alayhi salam, Salawat ala Muhammad.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
If you become a means for God to lead one of His obedient believers, that is better for you than anything on which sun shines from the east to the west. Just one person. Just one person. And become very important. Extremely important. Because we are representative. And somebody looks at all of us, you're a Muslim. Yes, I'm a Muslim. But I do bad things. I don't care for my neighbor. I don't care for this. I do this. I do this. Everything floundering. Is that the Muslim that I'm supposed to be? No. No.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Excuse me, Shaykh. I keep saying the last one. Bear with me. If you get tired, just raise your hand. I'll stop. Nobody. I know. Okay. Number 10 is dignity in the eyes of the people. If you look at, you have to earn it. We seek it from wrong sources. You understand? I mean, this is our problem. I want respect from people, but I do not have the right attributes, right character, right tools. Number 11, wisdom, wise man cures the poor, endows virtues. Do you know any poor people in the community? I don't, do you? There are poor people in the community, am I correct? Yeah, say the process. Should I know it? Yes. I give you a very beautiful thing I learned 30 years ago when I came to Florida. I was in Boca Raton Post Office. Boca Raton Post Office. In the post office, they had a table on the side by the window, and there was a sign with a box to put money in there. But I loved it. They say, this we are collecting for the needy people in our community. Just give us their name and phone number. We don't want any donation. We, the employees of the post office, we donate the money. This is character. We're not asking you to give money. Just give the name, phone number of the needy in the community. This is Muslim character. Wisdom is compensates bad behavior with good ones, does not quarrel with superiors, belittle the inferiors, give away what he does not own. His tongue is his harmony with his heart. If you deviate, you're monogamous. That's a sign. The tongue and the heart should be the same. His speech is not in opposition with his action. Wisdom is more elegant than others in personality. Decorate yourself with wisdom. Patience, forgiveness, ethics. Wisdom, wise man knows himself. Wisdom is nearer to the position of prophethood. And I'm going to finish here. ربنا تقبل منا انك انت السميع العليم اللهم اني اسالك بحق محمد وعلى محمد عليك صل على محمد وعلى محمد واجعل المسلمين وسيله الدين واليقين في قلبي والاخلاص في املي والسلامه في نفسي والسعه في رزقي شكرا لك عبدا ما اعطيتني. If any one of you have a question on this presentation, any question relating to the topic, feel free to talk to me. I'm still here for a little bit. Okay? Anybody who has any questions on the presentation, because I make sure that I'm not talking. This is a gift from Allah subhanahu. Remember, hikmat is a gift. So whatever I receive, I share with you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
زودنا يا سيدي.
ما شاء الله شو وقت صار يوم الجبت
17
شو وقت يعني؟
جمعة قادمة.
جمعة قادمة. Okay, just to remind you about the body general meeting, which is important, is going to be next Friday, not tomorrow, next Friday. what time? 6:30?
7.
7 with Salat, and then 7:30 we're going to start. And also, brothers and sisters, when we talk about Turkey and Syria, especially Syria, people in Syria, they are like under sanctions for a long time, and they had a civil war, and at the same time the earthquake came and hit them, so they are in a very terrible situation. And unfortunately, most of the assistance came to Turkey, not to Syria, and this is showing the kind of
Solidarity with the Arabs.
Double
like
standards.
double standards, yes,
Of course.
or hypocrisy. And one more thing, brothers and sisters, when we make dua or when we pray for them, it is essential, important, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give mercy to the deceased ones. But at the same time, you need to put your hand in your pocket and take something out. Donate some money for the people who are in need. And inshallah, give it to Abu Ali. Abu Ali, he has an access, inshallah, to someone who can send it over there. Alright? And if Hajj Abu Mahdi can give me a permission, I have a comment about hikmah. Hajj Abu Mahdi.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Do you give me permission? Just I have a comment about hikmah, about wisdom.
There was a very good explanation somebody gave, and I remind myself.
Okay.
Time, place, and measure. Time, place, and measure. I am up when I'm supposed to speak. I eat when I'm supposed to be doing something else. Wisdom is that package Allah will give you from inside. You know exactly what He wants you to say, do, everything. You know it in your heart.
Yes. So in Arabic, hikmah means وضع الشيء في مكانه. You put the thing in itself, in its place.
Perfect.
You say the perfect thing in its perfect time, or its needed time, or circumstance, or place. So this is not easy. So I'm gonna give some examples. One time, there was a king who saw a dream that all his teeth have been fallen. Okay, he has no teeth. So he was so scared, and he asked people to send him some, dreams interpreters who can interpret the dreams. So the first one told him, "Oh king, unfortunately, all your relatives are going to die. Your father, your mother, your brothers, sisters." So that king, he really was in shock, and he gave his orders, kill him. So he killed that person. He summoned another one, he said the same thing, kill him. 3, 4, 5, until one of them came, and he got the lesson, so he has wisdom. Instead of saying this bad thing, he said it in a different way. He said, "Oh king, you are so blessed. You are going to live more than all your relatives." You see, this is wisdom. The Prophet ﷺ, when one Bedouin came to him and he asked him, "Advise me, give me advice." He said, "Okay, restrain your anger. Don't be angry." He said, "What else?" He said, "La taghdab," restrain your anger. Third time, the same answer. So this person, he went back to his tribe, and he found his tribe about to fight another tribe. And the army of this tribe facing the army of this tribe. So immediately, as if he is automatically he is programmed. He went to his house, brought his weapon, the sword, the armor, the spear, and he stood on line with his tribe. Then he remembered what the Prophet told him. He said, "No, I'm not supposed to do this." And then he went back home, put everything there, and he came and he talked to the leaders of his tribe. "Is there any way out?" No, we have to fight." He said, "No, we should have a way out." "Okay, what about blood money or compensation?" And then they had negotiation with the other tribe, and he fixed the problem. So this is what we call wisdom. Wisdom, usually, it is for those people who are going to get down to the arena of calling to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to those people who are doing da'wah, okay, du'at ila Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those people who are preaching, those people who are trying to change the situation, those people who are not just sitting. And I was told by one of the ulama, he was saying, we were told there are ulama like a tree full with the fruits. You need to shake it, and then you'll get the tree, the fruit. Okay. So answer the alim, and you'll get. Ask him, and he will get the answer. He said, no, you need to be proactive, not not to wait for it. You need to think, to see it. And what Hajj Abu Mahdi mentioned about the main basics or basis of hikmah, yes, knowledge, piety, basira, insight, experience, and more than that. Okay? So Jazakumullah khair, and thank you so much, and say it please recite the ziyarah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ala
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم صفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح نبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كريم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين عليه السلام. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك